Thank you very much, Mark. And they say a week is a long time in politics, so to be here for the fourth year running is indeed a long time, but something which is very much something I wanted to do, and I'm delighted to be able to be here to formally open Coach and Bus Live 2013. I'm very pleased to be in this role as Minister for Buses, and the knowledge and experience of the sector I've gained over the years has been invaluable and very interesting, and it's good to be able to be here and feel the positive vibes which there are around the place, to hear the growth in the industry, the new jobs being created, and the way that British industry and British manufacturing is in many ways leading the world. Both the coalition government and the industry, I think, have the same goal, which is to get more people on buses. The industry, I think, is shaping up well, and I hope you would agree that the government is putting in place policies to help bring about a secure and growing future for the industry. There's no doubt buses play a crucial part in our transport system, connecting communities with jobs, services and families. The Department for Transport has, I think, always known that, but it's encouraging for me to see other government departments now recognising the value of the bus for their agendas, whether it's in education, work and pensions, or indeed the Treasury and other government departments who are now beginning to value the bus perhaps more than they did 10, 15 years ago. And the Greener Journeys initiative, which the industry has helped put forward, has been useful and instrumental in that process as well. It's worth remembering 63% of public transport trips are on local buses, over 2 billion bus journeys in the last year in England and outside London. 84% of bus passengers are satisfied with the service they are given, and that's of course independently produced figures from Passenger Focus. And even in the area where people are least satisfied, it's still 73%. And those of us in politics would actually be very pleased to get 73% approval rating for what we do. It's also, I think, important in social terms to know that 1/3 of local bus trips are taken by people in the lowest income group, and the bus is particularly important for those who are under 21, who make up 1/3 of all passengers. And I've been very keen, as you know, to make progress on giving a better deal for young people. I'm grateful to the industry for engaging actively with that agenda, and we are, I think, making progress, not least of all with the second innovation of the Bus for Us website, which I was very pleased to take forward recently. We are continuing to spend on buses in the government because bus travel is important, bus and coach travel is important. That includes, of course, £600 million from the Local Sustainable Transport Fund, which has come to over £1 billion with match funding. Huge wad of money for local sustainable transport. Many of those projects funded have, of course, included innovations and improvements to bus services locally. We've also seen, of course, the continuation of BSOG, and I hope you'll be pleased by the fact that in 2015-16, despite further savings in central government, BSOG has been fully protected into the next Parliament. There's also been money, of course, for individual projects, whether it's the Bus Rapid Transit in Bristol or the new cross-city services in Manchester. Money for the Better Bus Areas Fund, the new innovation we brought forward, or indeed other streams of money, including, of course, for manufacturers in particular, the Green Bus Fund. And I'm happy to say this morning, for the first time, this is being announced, I'm making a further allocation of money from the Green Bus Fund for a further 35 buses, and the areas which will benefit will be City of York Council, Stagecoach North East, Transport for Greater Manchester, Courtney Coaches and Yorkshire Coast Liner Limited. I'm also decided to fund 20 buses for Transport for Greater Manchester for the guided busway, which is due to open in 2015, double-decker diesel hybrid buses, to make sure that they start off on a firm footing with that particular innovation. So that has been agreed, and that money will now be forthcoming from the Green Bus Fund. There's also, of course, a need to deal with air pollution, and you'll have seen that we introduced money from a new fund, a Clean Bus Technology Fund, which was in fact oversubscribed. And because of good housekeeping in the Department for Transport, I've been able to find some more money to extend that particular fund. So I'm today announcing additional grants for 4 areas to benefit from the Clean Bus Technology Fund. Sheffield Bus Partnership will be funded for the conversion of 5 buses to run on natural gas. In the West Midlands, there will be 29 buses fitted with exhaust gas treatment, and there'll be 5 buses with exhaust gas treatment also benefiting from this funding in the Chiltern and Swale areas as well. If we can find extra funds in the Department for Transport to help the industry, we will always try to do so. Because it remains my view that going forward to make this industry as vibrant as possible, we need to make sure we are continually helping grow the economy and helping tackle our environmental footprint. And I think the industry I've seen here today demonstrates that being at the cutting edge of innovation both helps create jobs and helps with our environmental footprint and puts us in a good position, I think, to export and lead other countries into the steps forward that we ourselves are taking in this country. So we continue to pay 6p for every kilometre operated by low-emission buses. We've also published a Green Bus Toolkit calculator, enabling potential low-carbon bus operators to see the benefits of investing in low-carbon buses. But of course, these measures can only go so far, and I very much hope that the pump priming funding which the government has provided will enable the green technology to be self-sufficient in the not-too-distant future, so that the industry itself can take this forward without necessarily having the government to fund it in that way. I want to say one more thing about smart ticketing, which I haven't mentioned yet, which is this is very important, I think, for the delivery of growth in the industry. And we are continuing to fund smart ticketing initiatives up and down the country. And as you may know, I've been particularly keen to make sure that our small operators are not left out of this process. So you'll know that I'm funding a pilot project in Norfolk to make sure that all small operators can be included in this change which is coming, this technological change which is coming, and which will, I think will help grow the market. If someone can come along to a bus and know that they can either use a smart card or a bank card, whatever it may be, to get on the bus, rather than worrying about whether it's 85p and they got the right change, then that's going to grow the market. And there's been a good initial start to that in Norfolk, and I hope to see that sort of initiative extended more widely when we've had a chance to analyse in more detail the results of the pilot project in Norfolk. Finally, let me say that I think it's important that all planners in particular, but also local councils and others, do value sustainable transport generally. There is no doubt in my mind that giving space for the bus, and indeed I might say for the cyclist and the pedestrian, is a sensible way to organise town and city centres, both to help the economy grow, to help the high street, and indeed to reduce the environmental carbon emissions which result from excessive use of the car. I think we need to resist a return to the failed policies of the 1970s whenever they appear and whoever articulates them. If anyone thinks that squeezing out buses, bicycles and pedestrians and giving free rein to the car will help our town centres, they are sadly deluded. I've also noticed in the trade press, that there is a suggestion from the Mayor of Liverpool that he might suspend the bus lanes in Liverpool on a trial basis. While that obviously is a matter for the Mayor of Liverpool rather than for the Department for Transport, I have this morning written to the Mayor of Liverpool to draw attention to the advantages which bus lanes provide, not just for operators or those who use the buses, but actually for the economy in general, and indeed for car drivers who can find congestion has been relieved by modal shift from car to bus. And I've encouraged him to think very carefully about that particular suggestion before he takes it forward. So lastly, let me just say again, it's good to be back here for the 4th year. It's good to see the vibrancy which is clearly around the hall. I want to congratulate all those who have been involved in establishing this event this year. I'm particularly impressed by the sort of 1968 Pink Floyd light display which I had behind me, which I think is a different way of doing things, and I hope will capture your imagination. It just shows that there's creativity all around the bus industry. Thank you very much and have a very good time.